What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. This is going to be the start of a wonderfully fun day at MGM Grand. Myself, Mariano sitting over there. We're playing the 2-5 here for the day. And the day started with a ridiculous magic trick by a good guy named Ryan.
These are made with a magic marker. And look, they're permanent, right? And they're on the back of this card. They're on the back of the Jack of Spades, which wasn't your card because you drew on it, right? But this is what's cool. Look, we can take those marks on the Jack of Spades, go like that, and it looks like they vanish. But they don't vanish, look, they just jump over here. If we really wanted to give, look, if we really wanted to give the illusion that they vanished, we would do this. We would take those marks and we would just give it a wave. No, it really looks like they vanished. But if they vanish, they have to reappear somewhere. Look, they reappear on the back of one card. This card right here. Now, do you remember your card? If not, that's why I had you draw on it. You do remember? All right, what was your card? King of Hearts. So this is the King of Hearts. Boom, there it is, King of Hearts. And that's your drawing right there. And look, those marks right there are permanent. They don't come off. This is yours to keep, but you know what? We got to personalize it, right? We got to personalize it. Watch. If we take those marks like this, and if we just give it a shake, we can get those marks to move and get them to spell Rampage.
What? You are kidding me, dude. Let me get a picture of the front of that card. What?
He did this, and I'll show a little sneak peek of the magic trick he did to Mariano as well.
All right, this is going to seem gross, but don't worry, I've been COVID-free since '93. Watch, we're going to take your King of Diamonds, we're going to bury it into the center like that. Now, a lot of people think a magician's most powerful tool is his hands. Mine's actually not my hands, though, okay? Mine's actually my mouth. I'm going to find your card in my mouth. Watch. Oh. Pops up right there, the King of Diamonds. There you go.
I'm not really looking forward to play cards with this magician here, but he might just be able to get a few aces under his sleeve. But it's going to be a fun day. We're going to play some 2-5, going to splash around, going to have some drinks, and it's going to be a blast. So hopefully you enjoy this one. It's going to be good vibes all around today. And let's get into the hands. The cool thing about MGM Grand is that they made this 2-5 game uncapped. So I can buy in as much as I want, but before going a little too crazy, I'm in for $1,500, and this first hand here with King 9 of Spades in the hijack, I raise to 20 bucks, get the button and big blind to call. Going multi-way to a flop of King, Jack, Jack, Rainbow, and with top pair, not the best kicker in the world, action checks all the way around. Off to a turn now, which comes the 10 of Spades, and when action checks to me again, feels like I've got to bet something for value to get some value from worse draws, worse kings, who knows. I decide to bet out $35, and I get the button to make the call. Now we're going to a river, which is the 8 of Spades, and just sitting with a pair of kings, no real kicker. I think I decided to just make the check here. He bets out $25, and I'm not going to go anywhere. I make the call for 25 bucks, and he has Jack 10. Yep, full houses are going to take this one down. Nice hand to him. I guess I could have lost a little bit more, but not the best start to my meetup game, but on the comeback trail here with a better hand, King Queen offsuit in the low jack with a button straddle on to $10. The player to my right makes the call for $10, so he limps in. Now onto me. No limping here at my table. I raise it up to 50. I get the button and limper to call. So 3 ways to a flop, which looks pretty good in Queen 7-3 Rainbow. Top pair here on this board looks pretty good, and I decide to bet out $20 for value here, and I get the button to make the call, and then the limper does something funky and check raises to 60 bucks. Confused as to what this means because there's not a whole lot of strong hands besides sets. Certainly can have pocket 7s or pocket 3s, but with King Queen offsuit for $40 more to call, I'm in here like swimwear. I make the call, and surprisingly, the button calls along as well. So 3 people interested in this pot, and the turn comes a queen. Now improved to trips. Obviously, pretty confident that my hand might be best here, but when action checks to me, I decided to be a little more cautious with 3 players in the middle. Could certainly be beat sometimes, but being cautious here, I check, and action checks around. We're going to a river now, which comes a 6. And the player to my right now, who check raised the flop and checked the turn, he decides to bet out $80. And I think I have to raise. Although I don't know what worse hands can call besides a worse queen. I don't know how many worse queens are going to be checking the turn when they improve the trips. But I don't know. I've got to at least give myself an opportunity to make more money. So I put in a raise to $300. Action, unfortunately, folds all the way around. So I'll show the hand since it's a friendly environment here at this meetup game. King, Queen, and trips will take it down. So there's the comeback from losing the first hand. Moving on to the second table, this hand recorded a little late. I pick up pocket sixes on the button. There's a raise of $20 and 3 players, including myself, make the call. And the flop becomes queen jack 6 to hearts, starting things off hot at this new table with bottom set. The big blind bets out $20. 2 players make the call, so everyone's interested in the pot, and I'm here to close out the action, and I am going to bump up the price of poker. Certainly not going to play this one super friendly with a set. I raise it up to $100 and only get 1 player to make the call who's in the big blind, and he actually doesn't have $100 in the stack, so he's all in for less. Everyone folds, and I'm up against 3-4 of hearts. Gotta fade a heart, and I do. I end up boating up to a full house, and like the first hand, full houses are going to win. I'll take this one down. Nice to flop a set and win the maximum. All right, at these meetup games, I like to mix it up a little bit, and here, 7-deuce offsuit in the cutoff. I'm the only person playing the 7-deuce game. It's just in my own head. There's a hijack raise to $20, and I'm next to act. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. So I 3-bet to $65. The player to my left, maybe he knows something funky's going on. He makes the call on the button, and the hijack calls as well. So not really the best situation going multi-way, but here we are. The flop comes ace king 9, 2 clubs, and when action checks to me on ace king high boards, usually I should bet small, so I'm going to try to take a stab at this one. I make it $50 to go. Could I please take it down with 7 high? No. Both players end up calling, so I don't think this 7-deuce adventure is going to work after all. The turn is an 8, not really going to change my hand, and action checks all the way around. And when the river comes the deuce of clubs, I end up with a pair, but the flush draw does get there. And when action checks to me, I am so inclined and so willing to maybe take a stab at this, get a bad 1-pair hand to fold because I can maybe try to rep a flush. I don't know. I decided to blast out $250, trying to take the aggressive route in this hand because I really just have a pair of deuces. Unfortunately, the player to my left on the button immediately makes the call, so I'm screwed here. He has ace queen. Nice fair catch of this punt, sir. Welcome to the meetup game. If you show up to one of these events, you're gonna catch a punt. That's a guarantee. Okay, after donating some money on that second table, I'm off to the third table where I pick up king queen of spades on the small blind. There's an undergun open to $15, early position makes the call, and there's a hijack 3-bet to $60. Action folds to me, and wow, a lot of action already in this hand. I just sat down, and I definitely don't want to fold, as most of you can probably already tell by watching these videos. So I don't want to call either, and let's experiment with a raise. I re-raise this one up to $255 out of position, and only the hijack actually ends up making the call. So this is going to be interesting. I got up against the 3-better who should have a pretty strong hand, and the flop comes 8, 7, 6, 2 spades. Oh boy. Picking up the spade draw, 2 overcards. I am going to blast money in the middle in this 4-bet pot. I bet out $250, and this guy's not folding. He is all in for $350 total. It's just $100 more, and I am rooting for a spade, please. And when the cards are shown, I really need one, as this player just has 10-9 for the freaking nuts. Spade, one-time dealer. The turn comes to 10, giving me some outs to a chop, which would be gross. In the river, 4 of spades. Luckbox City we go. Shout out to Neil for coming and taking this pretty bad beat well. Really gross to just flop the nuts and then get outdrawn. Unfortunately, another guarantee is that I probably might suck out on you if you come to the meetup games. But shout out to Neil for showing up and taking this beat well. After winning that big hand, it's only obligatory to get the first drink of the night going and buy the table a round of White Russians, and let's move on to the next adventure. Now 1 drink in. Doesn't take much convincing to get the straddles going here, because if you look at the table around, we are playing a 2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, and I'm on the $160 straddle. Okay, strap in because this hand's going to be fun as action folds around to the $20 straddle who goes all in for about $1,000. Action folds to me. $1,000 is like 6 big blinds in this $160 straddle, and the first card, let's do a Bach peel. It's an ace. Second card followed by a 10. Yep, I am snap calling. Obviously, a very great hand to see, especially facing a 6 big blind jam. So let's just see a $2,000 pot all-in pre-flop. And this player shows ace queen. Shit. How do you wake up with a better ace in this spot? The board comes, and I need the board to pair.
Come on, baby.
But no, ace queen is going to win. Nice hand to you. Great timing for Travis here. So another guarantee is that straddles are gonna definitely pop off, and you're probably gonna make a lot of money. Great timing for Travis here. Not great timing for me. Another great guarantee of these meetup games are PLO double board bomb pots. This time we're going 8 ways, $20 from everyone here. And I pick up queen jack 3-4. Flop number 1 goes 10-9 high of hearts. Flop number 2, queen 4-10. So flopping some heart draws, flopping some 2-pair holdings. There's an early position player who bets out $160. Basically, he announced the pot. And I'm going to make the call for now with a lot happening. The player on my left calls as well. So now we're going from 8 ways to the flop to 3 ways to the turn. Turn number 1 comes a queen. Turn number 2 comes a heart. Honestly, if we just could have put those turns reversed, the heart up top and the queen on bottom, I would have loved it. Sadly, there's an early position player who ends up checking. And now I'm at a decision point between wanting to bet or check. And I want to put money in the middle because we're here to gamble. I bet out $225. The player to my left ends up making the call. And the other guy called as well. So still 3 ways to a river. And I'm not really loving this situation here. The river comes brick. Sadly, no improvement on my part. And I'm not loving my situation. Action checks the player to my left. And he actually ends up going all in. And the other player actually ends up calling. So sadly, now my super strong hand and strong draw on the flop has shriveled up into not the best one, especially facing 2 all-ins on the river here. So I just fold. The player on my left shows 10-9 for a full house up top. And the other player has pocket aces for just 1 pair on the bottom board. They're going to end up chopping it, and I guess I could have won if I called the river with my queen 4 2-pair holding. But yeah, that didn't work out for me. They're going to chop up my money. And once again, they're taking my money. That's fine. It's fine. No other way to rebound from losing a few hands than playing 7-deuce once again. This time they're suited. I'm in the cutoff and raise it up to $20. Once again, I am the only person playing this 7-deuce game. It's just this fun little game in my own head. Anyways, we get the small blind to call, so we're going heads up to a flop of 9-8-6 2 hearts. Now I actually have a good draw with a 7 in my hand, and when he checks it over to me, I decide to bet out $35. Maybe just take it down right now, or have him make the call and build a bigger pot. When the turn comes a jack, not a card that I was looking for, he checks again, and I'm happy to take a free card here at this point and check back. The river now comes a board pairing 6. And this time he fires out $55, and I'm sitting with 7 high, and I guess the reasonable thing is to just fold, right? Because I don't really beat a whole lot with 7 high, and calling's out of the question. But did I ever tell you guys that raising is an option as well? This is where this hand's going. I put in a raise to $200 because I want to win. I want to put pressure on some 1-pair holdings, and he tank calls. Yep. I show the 7 high proudly, and he has king jack. Nice hand, nice fair catch, and yeah, nice call. He did think about it for a while. I put him in a tough spot, but he made the right decision. So gotta give credit where credit's due there. Okay, it's been a painful session to say the least, but how about we give this hand a try here? I have queen 7 offsuit in the big blind, plus 1 player raises it up to $20, and 3 players make the call to me. Okay, pull my arm, fine. You're going to make me play this hand? I'm here for it. I'm here to see some flops here in this meetup game, so I make the call for $15 more with not the best hand, and we're off to a flop of what looks like to be ace queen 10, something like that. And yeah, I have middle pair here on a pretty Broadway heavy flop. Plus 1 puts in a continuation bet of $65, and everyone folds to me. I'm here to close out the action, and I'm not here to fold second pair when I flop it. I tell her, thank you for showing up, and this $65 I'm going to pay you off is her fee for showing up, because when you come on the meetup games, you're supposed to get paid. So I make the call for $65, and the turn is a bink 7. Well, there goes the whole appearance fee spiel. I check it over to her, and she ends up going all in for like $150, give or take. And yeah, knowing I probably just sucked out, I'm not folding. I make the call, and I just show her immediately the bad news. We're off to a river. She needs to improve, and she does not with just her pair of aces. Feels bad to, talk and give the spiel out loud on the flop, and then, of course, just banking my out. Well, at least I'm finally winning a hand and on the right track after some painful hands the past few hands we went over. One of the last interesting hands of the night. Let's go over it. Do you think I'm going to win this one? We'll see. I have 8-7 suited, and I'm in early position, so I decided to raise to $20 here. The player on my left and the button end up making the call, but then the small blind wants to bump up the price of poker to $100. Okay, well, suited connectors are fun to play. I'm in position of this player, and why not gamble? Because I've already gambled a lot today. I make the call for 100, and everyone else folds, so we're going heads up to a flop of 8-7-3. Yep, did I just bank 2 pair on this flop? Damn right I did. Surprisingly, he actually checks it over to me though, and not expecting his 3-betting range to hit this flop too much, and I'm going to start with a slow play and check this one back. Expecting him to have a lot of air here. We're off to a turn, which comes a 9. Another card that should favor me a lot more than him, and he bets out $80 this time. It's a small bet, but I'm not going to raise. Like I said, I think he's going to have air a high percentage of the time here. So let's keep him continually to bluff. Let's see. I make the call, and we're off to a river, which is a disastrous 10. Damn it. Even worse than this river is that he actually bets again for $125, and I guess this is just what I get for slow playing, right? Not loving this, but as played, I'm going to make the call, and if he's bluffing, then that'd be good for us. But if he's not, then kudos to him. I kind of let him get there. I call for 125 because I'm obviously not in a folding mood, and he isn't happy. So when he shakes his head, I'm just going to show my 2 pair, and turns out it's good. So it looks like he was bluffing. Anyways, I take in the chips in the middle, and here's a look at my chip stack. It looks like a lot, but I'm actually down a boatload. Whew. All right, another meetup game here and done. This was a blast here at MGM Grand. Every single table, it's a little emptied out now because I just cashed out, but every single table here was filled with some 2-5 games, and it was an absolute blast. I didn't end up winning any money, which, granted, if you saw the hands and how I played, I probably shouldn't have won any money, to be honest with you, but love the staff here. Everything went super smoothly. Myself and Mariana were able to get through every single table, and action was great. So, end of the day, the numbers, we were in the game for 3,500. They actually made this 2-5 uncapped. It's so sick. Pretty cool to have that happen. I was in for 3,500, out for 3,320. So all things considered, not horrible after I was down 1,500 after that silly little straddle hand. So thanks so much for coming, to everyone that did come. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. You know what? It's okay to not win, to be honest. I'm happy to punt to people who show up for the meetup game. So next meetup game, I'm going to be punting. See you guys on the felt. Thanks for watching. See you next time.